Welcome to Weiss on Film. On each episode of Weiss on Film, we're going to take an everyday approach to movie reviews. Why don't you go over and get yourself some refreshments? There you go. And then we're going to head over to the screening room. All right, you got everything? Are we ready? Let's get into the screening room and get ready to see what we have in store this time on Weiss on Film. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Weiss on Film, your movie review podcast, and I'm so glad you took some time to spend with us today. This time around, a bunch of retired gangsters plan to go out in style. We're taking a look at 2012's movie starring Al Pacino, Christopher Walken, comedian Bill Burr, and more. Stand Up Guys. This time on Weiss on Film. And we'll get into the review of this movie right after this. Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Weiss on Film. So glad you dropped by the screening room today. We got a good one in store for you. Going back about 11 years. Actually, 10 years, 11 years. Going back to 2012. This was one that might have passed you by in the theater. It's a comedy mob movie starring Al Pacino and Christopher Walken called Stand Up Guys. Let's have a listen to the official trailer, and then we're going to talk about Stand Up Guys, this time on Weiss on Film.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
How long since your last confession?
60 years, give or take a few.
Now confess each and every serious sin that separates you from Christ.
Oh, no, we'd be here forever. Why don't we just deal with today? So I kind of missed you.
Missed you too.
That just get weird?
Yes. This is my best friend. Just got back from a long trip.
Let's just drop the welcome home thing.
Kill him by 10 o'clock in the a.m. or you're dead too.
So who's gonna do it?
Do what?
You know what? Come on, just say it. It's you.
It's me. What do you want to do until then?
So far, I stole a sweet-ass car. A bunch of drugs.
Nice. No drugs at the bar.
It's prescription. I got the hypertension. But I did some good stuff, too.
Oh, my God.
I rescued my friend.
Give me the key. There's no key. Give me the key. It's new. It's a button.
It's automatic.
You push the button. It's
You push the
computers.
Oh, man, this is like the future.
So can I say a Hail Mary and be done here?
I don't think you can Hail Mary your way out of this one.
You're right.
Is it done?
Working on it.
They say we die twice. Once when the breath leaves our body, and once when the last person we know says our name.
You're my new hero.
I've been away for a long time. I just want to dance with you. You're my only friend.
You're mine.
It's like the old days, isn't it?
No, it's better.
I can't do what I said I would do. Mercy is all I'm saying. Mercy.
Finish this. I took the fall. For everyone, I'm a stand-up guy.
Listen.
And there you have it. There's the audio trailer for Stand Up Guys with Christopher Walken and Al Pacino. Bill Burr makes a cameo appearance in this movie as well. And also, there's a great appearance by Alan Arkin, who's in this movie as well. He has a great bit part in this as well. And there's a couple other people in this film that you may recognize that were in shows. If you've seen the show The Good Wife, the young lady who plays the good wife is actually in there as well. So getting the synopsis, it's a mob movie, but with a comedic type of flair. All right. So just to give you a little bit of background on this film, and it takes place with Al Pacino getting out of prison. Al Pacino gets out of prison after a long stint, going in, keeping his mouth shut. And evidently he had caused the death of one of this mobster boss's only son. And the mobster wants Al Pacino whacked, basically, when he gets out of prison. So Christopher Walken is set for that task. He tells him, listen, you've got to whack this guy within 24 hours of him getting out of prison, or I'm going to hurt your family. So that's kind of giving you the setup, the premise of this story. So it's about their dynamic. Christopher Walken and Al Pacino were friends, along with the Alan Arkin's character. We're all friends back in the day with the mob here. And he gets out. He wants to live life a little bit, catch up on what he's been missing, and, experience some things. They visit a house of ill repute. There's a couple other dynamics that go into this as well. There's a lot of great comedic moments in this film, but it does pull on some hard emotions and the dynamic of the friendship between Christopher Walken, knowing that he has to basically assassinate his best friend that he's known all his life and grew up with because of the threat of his family being hurt by this mob boss. And so there's kind of that dynamic in the film as well. There's a lot of great, like I said, funny moments throughout that. There's a lot of just great sentimental moments, and of course, when you've got two Academy Award winners in here, you're gonna get good performances always from Christopher Walken and from Al Pacino. I mean, that's Alan Arkin too. I mean, these are masters of the screen. Bill Burr, who I know everyone knows out there, he's a comedian. One of his earlier roles here, does a great job being a sarcastic, wise guy in the film too. So kudos to Bill Burr on his performance in the movie Stand Up Guys. And being released 2012, this one, I must admit, it slid by my radar. I did not see this film when it came out. I happened to find it by perusing one of the internet services and watched the movie. And thought it was really, really good. Got a lot of favorable reviews from people that have watched it. It was basically panned by the critics as being sappy and being, just in that time frame when this movie came out, there was a lot of things coming out similar to this movie. So it was one of these movies that basically was passed over, wasn't given a huge budget. But again, some solid performances from Christopher Walken and Al Pacino make this an enjoyable ride, especially if you're a fan of like the mob genre and you enjoy that. I liken it to almost to something near like The Freshman with Matthew Broderick and of course, the late great actor who played the Godfather. We all knew who that is, right? And it's along those lines. It's something like that. It also kind of another good movie too, if you want to see too that Christopher Walken's in a more serious role. There was a movie called Suicide Kings. That one we're going to review in an upcoming show here in the not too distant future. But this one again, great. It's funny to a point, but it has a story, and it takes you along this ride that you kind of feel for Christopher Walken's character, because you're like, man, what would you do if you were, let's say, in the life and your friend did something that he, to your boss, and your boss says, man, you got to whack him or I'm going to kill your family. That's a hard thing to do. I mean, would you go through with, you know, the killing of your friend? Or would you, you know, let that loyalty of someone that you've been loyal to for, you know, a long, you know, your whole life take precedent and figure out something to do? I don't want to give away the end of the movie for you, because it does have a really cool ending. It doesn't really give away the ending, because you think that, you know, what's going to happen is going to happen, but there's like a change up at the end, and it doesn't fully tell you what happens to these characters, but it kind of gives you that, like, well, you can surmise. Almost think of like the end of The Sopranos, where, you know, for those of you that went through the journey of the 6 or 7 seasons of The Sopranos, and at the end of the last scene with Tony eating with his family in the restaurant, and, you know, kind of, it sets you up for, okay, here's what I think happened, but it doesn't give you that finality, which is okay. I don't have a problem with that with this movie. And I thoroughly enjoyed the time I spent watching this movie. I really never got bored. I was totally entertained by it. And I thought it was a good way to, you know, to spend 90 minutes or more. It wasn't one of those films where I was like, all right, come on, let's end this thing. You know, we've seen this all before. There's a lot of setups and premises that we've seen in other films before. But what really made this movie interesting for me was the dynamic, just watching Christopher Walken and Al Pacino play off each other, you know, in that kind of wise guy role, that are over-the-hill wise guys, and now they're kind of coming to the terms with how the world is nowadays, you know, and trying to kind of rekindle the spark of the glory days, as it were. But as far as stand-up guys, for me, I'm going to say stand-up guys, if you want to check this movie out, all right, stand-up guys it's a winner. Stand-up guys is a winner. I think you'll enjoy it, especially if you like the mob genre with some comedy mixed in. I think you're really going to enjoy this film. And be careful. Don't let the mob get you, okay? So check out Stand-Up Guys with Al Pacino, Christopher Walken, Alan Arkin, and a cameo by Bill Burr, comedian Bill Burr, amongst others. It's not going to win any Academy Awards. I don't believe it did win any Academy Awards. But I'll tell you what, it's one of those that I would put up there in the, hey, if it's a rainy day or something I'd like to revisit, you won't regret spending some time and watching Stand-Up Guys. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast, Weiss on Film. And if you want to email us, it's real easy. It's weissonfilm@purplepitstudios.com. weissonfilm@purplepitstudios.com. Send me a suggestion of a movie you'd like me to check out and do a review on, and I'll be happy to do it. And if you like the podcast, make sure you give us a rating on your favorite podcast provider. Until next time, my friends, I'll keep the screening room clean, the popcorn off the floor, and I'll save you a seat, and we'll check out another film next time on Weiss on Film.